Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to delve into the mindset of not caring about what others think. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, isn't it important to consider others' opinions? And you're right, to an extent. But there's a fine line between considering opinions and letting them control your life. You see, most people live their entire lives in the shadow of others' expectations. They make decisions based on what their parents want, what their friends think is cool, or what society deems acceptable. But I'm here to tell you that true success, true happiness, and true fulfillment come when you learn to embrace a mindset of not caring about what others think. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or inconsiderate. It means having the courage to live life on your own terms, to pursue your dreams without fear of judgment, and to be authentically yourself in a world that often pressures us to conform. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you held back from pursuing a goal because you were afraid of what others might say? How often have you dimmed your light to make others comfortable? How many dreams have you tucked away in the corners of your mind because someone told you they were unrealistic? This, my friends, is the price we pay when we care too much about what others think. We sacrifice our potential, our happiness, and our unique gifts to the world. And for what? For the fleeting approval of others who are often just as insecure and unsure as we are. But here's the truth. Those who achieve greatness, those who leave a lasting impact on the world, are not the ones who conform. They're the ones who dare to be different, who have the courage to follow their own path even when others don't understand it. Think about the great innovators and leaders throughout history. Do you think Steve Jobs cared what others thought when he envisioned the computer in every home? Do you think Martin Luther King Jr. stopped to consider public opinion before he stood up for civil rights? Of course not. These individuals embraced a mindset of not caring what others thought, and in doing so, they changed the world. Now, I'm not saying you need to change the world on that scale, but I am saying that embracing this mindset can change your world. It can free you from the invisible chains of others' expectations and allow you to soar to heights you never thought possible. But how do we cultivate this mindset? How do we learn to let go of our need for approval and validation from others? Well, it starts with understanding a fundamental truth. What others think of you is none of your business. Let that sink in for a moment. What others think of you is none of your business. Their opinions, their judgments, their criticisms, they say more about them than they do about you. And here's the kicker. Most people are too busy worrying about what others think of them to spend much time thinking about you anyway. Once you truly internalize this truth, it becomes easier to let go of the need for others' approval. You start to realize that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. And when you start living by your own standards rather than someone else's, that's when life gets really exciting. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but Jim, isn't it selfish to only care about my own opinion? And to that, I say, absolutely not. In fact, I'd argue that it's more selfish to live your life according to others' expectations. Think about it this way. You've been given unique gifts, talents, and perspectives. You have a unique contribution to make to this world. If you spend your life trying to be what others want you to be, you're depriving the world of that unique contribution. You're hiding your light under a bushel, as the saying goes. But when you embrace a mindset of not caring what others think, you give yourself permission to shine brightly. You allow yourself to fully express who you are and what you're capable of. And in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. Now, let's be clear about something. Embracing this mindset doesn't mean you become inconsiderate or stop listening to feedback altogether. There's a big difference between not caring what others think and not valuing input or constructive criticism. The key is to be selective about whose opinions you value. Surround yourself with people who support your dreams, who challenge you to grow, and who provide honest, constructive feedback. These are the opinions that matter, not the judgments of those who don't understand your journey or who project their own fears and limitations onto you. Remember, the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. That's a powerful phrase to keep in mind as you navigate this journey. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, this all sounds great, Jim, but how do I actually put this into practice? How do I stop caring what others think when it's been ingrained in me for so long? Well, like any significant change, it starts with small steps. Begin by becoming aware of when you're making decisions based on others' opinions rather than your own desires. Notice when you're holding back from expressing yourself fully because you're afraid of judgment. Once you're aware, challenge yourself to make small decisions without considering what others might think. Maybe it's wearing that outfit you love but have been afraid to wear in public. Maybe it's sharing an idea in a meeting even though you're worried others might not. Start small and gradually work your way up to bigger decisions. Another powerful practice is to regularly remind yourself of your values and goals. When you're clear about what's truly important to you, it becomes easier to brush off the opinions that don't align with your path. It's also crucial to work on building your self-esteem and self-confidence. The more secure you are in yourself, the less you'll need others' approval. This might involve setting and achieving personal goals, practicing self-care, or working with a therapist or coach to overcome limiting beliefs. Remember, embracing this mindset is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns of seeking approval. That's okay. The important thing is to recognize it when it happens and gently guide yourself back to your own truth. Now let's talk about the incredible benefits that come from embracing this mindset. When you stop caring what others think, you free up an enormous amount of mental and emotional energy. Think about how much time and effort you currently spend worrying about others' opinions, trying to please everyone, or holding yourself back out of fear of judgment. Imagine what you could accomplish if you redirected all that energy towards your goals and dreams. You'll also find that your relationships improve. It might seem counterintuitive, but when you stop seeking approval from others, you become more authentic in your interactions. You attract people who appreciate you for who you truly are rather than who you're pretending to be. And those relationships tend to be deeper, more meaningful, and more fulfilling. Moreover, you'll discover a level of inner peace that you might never have experienced before. When your sense of self-worth isn't dependent on others' opinions, you become more resilient to criticism and setbacks. You're able to weather life storms with greater ease because you're anchored in your own truth. But perhaps the most significant benefit is the freedom it gives you to pursue your dreams without hesitation. When you're not constrained by fear of what others might think, you're able to take risks, to try new things, to push your boundaries. And that's where real growth and achievement happen. Think about some of the most successful people you know or admire. I'd be willing to bet that they didn't get where they are by constantly worrying about others' opinions. They got there by believing in themselves, by following their vision even when others couldn't see it, and by having the courage to be different. Now, I want to address something important here. Embracing this mindset doesn't mean you become immune to others' opinions overnight. It's not about developing a thick skin or pretending that criticism doesn't hurt. It's about developing a strong sense of self that can withstand external pressures. You see, we're social creatures by nature. We're wired to seek acceptance and belonging. So it's natural to care what others think to some degree. The goal isn't to completely eliminate that instinct, but to manage it so that it doesn't control your life. It's about reaching a place where you can hear others' opinions, consider them if they're valuable, but ultimately make decisions based on your own judgment and values. It's about being able to say, I hear what you're saying, but this is what feels right for me. Now, let's talk about some practical strategies for cultivating this mindset. One powerful technique is to practice self-acceptance. Many of us are our own harshest critics. We judge ourselves more severely than anyone else ever could. But when you learn to accept yourself fully, flaws and all, you become less susceptible to others' judgments. Start by making a list of your strengths and accomplishments. Remind yourself daily of what you have to offer the world. Practice self-compassion when you make mistakes or fall short of your goals. Remember, you are a work in progress, always growing and evolving. Another effective strategy is to reframe how you think about others' opinions. Instead of seeing them as judgments or criticisms, try to view them as data points. They're just information, not necessarily true or false, just one perspective among many. This shift in perspective can help you detach emotionally from others' opinions and view them more objectively. It's also helpful to remember that most people's opinions are shaped by their own experiences, fears, and limitations. When someone criticizes your dreams or tells you something isn't possible, they're often projecting their own insecurities or limitations onto you. Understanding this can help you take others' opinions less personally. Now, I wanted to address a common concern that comes up when we talk about not caring what others think. Some people worry that it means becoming selfish or inconsiderate, but that's not what this mindset is about at all. In fact, when you stop basing your decisions on others' opinions, you often become more authentic and genuine in your interactions. You're able to give more freely because you're not constantly calculating how your actions will be perceived. You're able to be more present with others because you're not preoccupied with managing their impressions of you. Moreover, when you embrace this mindset, you become a powerful example for others. You show them what's possible when you have the courage to be yourself and follow your own path. In a world that often encourages conformity, this is a tremendous gift. Think about the people in your life who inspire you. Chances are they're not the ones who are constantly trying to fit in or please everyone. They're the ones who are unapologetically themselves, who stand up for what they believe in, who pursue their passions with enthusiasm. By embracing a mindset of not caring what others think, you become one of those inspiring people. You become a beacon of authenticity in a world that desperately needs it. Now let's talk about how this mindset can impact your professional life. In the workplace, caring too much about what others think can hold you back in numerous ways. It can prevent you from sharing innovative ideas, from taking on challenging projects, from asking for that promotion you deserve. But when you learn to trust your own judgment and follow your own path, amazing things can happen. You become more confident in your abilities. You're more likely to take calculated risks that can lead to big rewards. You become a leader rather than a follower. Think about some of the most successful entrepreneurs and business leaders. They didn't achieve their success by playing it safe and doing what everyone else was doing. They achieved it by having the courage to think differently, to challenge the status quo, to pursue their vision even when others couldn't see it. Now, I'm not saying you need to quit your job tomorrow and start a revolutionary new business. But I am saying that embracing this mindset can transform your professional life. Whether you're an employee, a manager, or a business owner, it allows you to bring your full self to your work. It enables you to contribute your unique insights and talents without fear of judgment. And that's when you start to truly excel and stand out in your field. But let's be honest, embracing this mindset isn't always easy. There will be times when the fear of judgment creeps back in. There will be moments of self-doubt. There will be people who don't understand your choices or who try to pull you back into old patterns. The key is to stay committed to your path, even when it gets difficult. Remember why you started this journey in the first place. Remember the freedom and authenticity you're moving towards. And most importantly, be patient and compassionate with yourself. This is a profound shift in mindset, and it takes time. You're unlearning patterns that have been ingrained for years, maybe even decades. It's okay if you don't get it perfect right away. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Each time you make a decision based on your own values rather than others' opinions, you're growing. Each time you express yourself authentically without fear of judgment, you're moving forward. Celebrate these small victories along the way. Now let's talk about how this mindset can impact your personal relationships. When you stop caring so much about what others think, You create space for deeper, more authentic connections. Think about it. How many times have you held back from being your true self with friends or family because you were afraid of what they might think? How often have you agreed to things you didn't really want to do just to keep the peace or avoid disapproval? When you embrace this mindset, you give yourself permission to be fully yourself in your relationships. You're able to express your true thoughts and feelings, to set healthy boundaries, to pursue your interests, even if they're different from those around you. And here's the beautiful thing. When you show up authentically in your relationships, you inspire others to do the same. You create an environment of trust and openness where people feel safe to be themselves. Yes, there may be some people who are uncomfortable with this new, more authentic you. There may be some relationships that shift or even end, but the relationships that remain and the new ones you form will be so much richer and more fulfilling. Remember, you're not responsible for managing others' emotions or making everyone happy all the time. Your responsibility is to be true to yourself and to treat others with kindness and respect. Beyond that, how they react is their choice. Now, let's address another common concern. Some people worry that not caring what others think means becoming arrogant or dismissive of others' feelings. But that's not what we're talking about here at all. This mindset isn't about becoming insensitive or disregarding others entirely. It's about finding a balance where you can consider others' perspectives without being controlled by them. It's about having the discernment to know whose opinions truly matter and whose you can let go of. In fact, when you're not constantly seeking approval or trying to please everyone, you often become more empathetic and understanding. You're able to listen to others more deeply because you're not preoccupied with how you're being perceived. You're able to offer genuine support and encouragement because you're coming from a place of authenticity rather than obligation. Moreover, embracing this mindset can make you more resilient in the face of criticism or negative feedback. When your sense of self-worth isn't dependent on others' opinions, you're able to hear criticism without being devastated by it. You can take what's useful and let go of the rest. This resilience is crucial in all areas of life. In your personal relationships, in your professional endeavors, and in your pursuit of your goals and dreams. It allows you to keep moving forward, to keep growing and evolving, even when faced with obstacles or setbacks. Now let's talk about how this mindset can impact your creativity and self-expression. When you're constantly worried about what others think, you tend to play it safe. You stick to what's familiar and accepted. You hold back your most innovative ideas for fear of judgment or ridicule. But when you embrace a mindset of not caring what others think, you give yourself permission to explore, to experiment, to push boundaries. You allow yourself to be truly creative and innovative. Think about some of the greatest artists, inventors, and innovators throughout history. They weren't the ones who played it safe and followed the crowd. They were the ones who dared to think differently, who weren't afraid to challenge conventions and push boundaries. By embracing this mindset, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You allow yourself to dream bigger, to take bigger risks, to pursue ideas that others might consider crazy or impossible. And here's the thing, even if not every idea is a winner, even if you face setbacks or failures along the way, you're still growing, you're still learning, you're still moving forward, and that's what really matters. Now, I want to address something important. Embracing this mindset doesn't mean you become immune to hurt or disappointment. You're still human after all. There will still be times when criticism stings or when rejection feels painful. The difference is in how you handle these experiences. Instead of being devastated by them or letting them define you, you're able to process them and move forward. You're able to see them as part of the journey rather than as a reflection of your worth. This resilience is one of the most valuable skills you can develop in life. It allows you to keep pursuing your dreams even when faced with obstacles. It enables you to bounce back from setbacks stronger than before. And here's a powerful truth. The more you embrace this mindset, the more resilient you become. Each time you choose to follow your own path despite others' opinions, you grow stronger. Each time you express yourself authentically without fear of judgment, you become more confident in who you are. Now let's talk about how this mindset can impact your decision making. When you're constantly worried about what others think, you often make decisions based on what you think will please others or what you think is expected of you. But these decisions rarely lead to true fulfillment or success. When you embrace a mindset of not caring what others think, you free yourself to make decisions based on your own values, goals, and desires. You're able to choose paths that truly resonate with you, even if they're unconventional or misunderstood by others. This leads to a life that's more authentic, more fulfilling, and ultimately more successful on your own terms. It's important to remember that embracing this mindset is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, and moments of triumph. The key is to stay committed to your path, to keep choosing authenticity over approval, to keep prioritizing your own growth and fulfillment over others' expectations. Each time you do this, you strengthen your resolve and move closer to living a life that's truly your own. As you continue on this journey, remember that you have within you everything you need to succeed. You have unique gifts, talents, and perspectives that the world needs. By embracing a mindset of not caring what others think, you give yourself permission to fully express these gifts and to make your unique contribution to the world. You become a beacon of authenticity and courage, inspiring others to do the same. So I challenge you today. Start embracing this mindset. Start making decisions based on what feels right to you, not what you think others expect. Start expressing yourself fully and authentically. Start pursuing your dreams without fear of judgment. It won't always be easy, but I promise you, it will be worth it. Because when you stop caring what others think and start living true to yourself, that's when life really begins. That's when you start to create a life that's not just successful by society's standards, but deeply fulfilling and meaningful to you. And in the end, that's what truly matters.